Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier. Thank you as always for stopping by. Sub-Saharan Africa, this is Simon Allison in a tweet. In a previous life, I worked for the Mo Ibrahim Foundation. That Mo Ibrahim is now speaking of a decade of lost opportunity, means the numbers are really bad. Indeed, I went through that report and shared some with you. And in that, Mo was speaking of a decade of lost opportunity, we reflected on that. Basically, this population growth, and that took me back to my article about Ouagadougou in 2014, when I was talking about Ouagadougou's signal to sub-Saharan Africa. And I was talking about the demographic dividend. It's being binary, and it could at any point become a demographic terminator. And I think that's what Ibrahim was concerned about. Merkel looks to cement Africa, cement a legacy, and looking to Africa to achieve that. We have to make sure we don't stay in aid mode, she said. The many millions of jobs we need in Africa can't be created by public money. Indeed, that's correct as well. Dr. Abiy at that same conference, I'd like to reassure you of my government's commitment and seriousness to take all the necessary measures required to attract investment in Ethiopia, he said. And I've previously said about him that I really think he's quite an extraordinary African politician. Signs in Zimbabwe are pointing to a possible rerun of the massive crisis that engulfed the country about a decade ago. Mnangagwa met with the country's business community. The president assured them that he was working day and night to stabilize the economy. Signs in Zimbabwe are pointing to a possible rerun of the massive crisis that engulfed the country about a decade ago. Among them is a sudden surge in the country's stock exchange industrial index in October, which now stands at a relatively high market valuation of $22 billion, a sudden gain of more than 50% in a matter of days. And that's all about a flight to quality, and that's why you're getting that distortion. Traffic Bureau's unit is to supply gasoline to Zimbabwe amid shortages. That's a positive development. This is what I found interesting about this. Zimbabwe's gasoline consumption is about 3.8 million litres a day, compared with about 1.5 million just 6 months ago, with demand for diesel has grown to 4.1 million from 2.5 million litres over the same period. South African all shares down 14.7% so far this year. Dollar versus Rand lost at 14.6458. That's been softening up, and we had that bounce, Tito Bweni bounce, but we're backing off now from those levels. Egyptian pound 17.9075, that's been remarkably stable for quite a while. Nigerian all share down 13.27% year to date. Ghana Stock Exchange is up 6.65% year to date. The Bank of Kigali is to list new shares on the Rwanda Stock Exchange and on the NSE.